If you've ever lived in an area where a loss of electricity, internet, and cell phone service is common, then you can probably relate to the notion of living 40 miles from nowhere, plumb out in the sticks. This is typically not a place where you want to start your career. In fact, most people move away at a very young age and never come back. If you're like me, and you do come back, and I came back as a student pursuing a film degree online, you might think that's a grand idea because Mother Nature and a host of recreational activities are just outside your door. Living in a remote area where I could concentrate on being a good student without all the usual distractions. What a grand idea. What the heck was I thinking? I hear it all the time. Maine is such a great place to live, they say. It is so scenic up there, and you're getting some really outstanding footage. Can we come up and go hiking? Maybe walk on the Appalachian Trail for a day. And then there's the other people that want to come up and go whitewater rafting, up and get some Class 4 and Class 5 rapids. It's every bit of that and then some. And I'm not really one to complain about it. Well, maybe about the snow, but that's another story. But just like everything else in life, there's a downside to every story. And I can tell you that downside has had a direct impact on me as a student. Let's talk about electricity. Electricity is another common loss in this area or neck of the woods, and it can go out for up to 24 hours. And of course, with a loss of electricity, you're going to lose a lot of other services as well. Okay, let's talk internet service. We don't have cable and fiber optics up this way. We are strictly on the satellite service, and it is notoriously slow. And what does that mean? It means it takes sometimes up to 24 hours to upload a homework assignment. And the bottom line to that is you've got 24 hours less time to work on that assignment. So you have to be really mindful of your pre-planning activities, because if you don't pre-plan for a slow internet service, your homework's going in late. Okay, now let's talk cell phones. Now, cell phones up here can be very weather dependent, and the signal goes in and out. And I can tell you firsthand, you will find yourself having to drive to a top of a hill just to make a phone call. And I know, everybody's saying, you hillbilly, you gotta climb the telephone pole just to answer the phone. Well, thankfully it's not quite that bad, but it is pretty bad up here, and you will find yourself more times than not being able to make a call. Now, taking everything in stride, there is always the escape clause. After all, I do live in the vacation land of Maine. When things start seeming that they're at their worst, the outdoor recreational activities and the scenery are both my idea of escape and therapy. And you might ask, just how much can you do in one day? Well, I can tell you this much. I can walk outside my door and I can see a ridgeline and a hill that have the Appalachian Trail going up over it. In fact, I can drive to that trailhead in about 10 minutes. So there you go. Put on a pack, drive out in the morning, park your car, start hiking either north or south, and by the end of the day, just find a good spot, pitch a tent, build a fire, kick back and relax, eat some of those nice, new, dehydrated gourmet foods, and watch some shooting stars. Now, if you're not up to the hiking and camping routine, just jump in your car and go up in the mountains. Take a ride. Waterfalls are everywhere. Now, it may take just a little bit of a hike to get to the waterfalls, but they are definitely worth the effort. There are a number of scenic destinations within a very short drive, but don't forget to bring that camera, because you don't want to be caught in that moment of, oh, geez, I wish I had my camera. Preserve the moment. Like water sports, how about some Class 4 and Class 5 whitewater rafting down the Kennebec River? This is the river that Benedict Arnold used on his raid on Quebec in 1775. This river will test your nerve, and it'll test your willingness to take a few risks, and you will probably go for a swim. And of course, you can't be in Maine if you don't eat lobster. And we don't cook it like the rest of the world does. We don't fry it, we don't bake it, we don't grill it. We put it in a pot of boiling water, cook it for 10 minutes, take it out, demeat, and take everything out of the shell, put it on a plate, serve it with drawn butter, squeeze a lemon here and there, and maybe a lobster cake or two on the side. And last but not least, you gotta have a bowl of that chowder. And of course, let's not forget dessert. And that's going to include blueberry muffins, blueberry pie, a sprinkling of seasonal fruit like strawberries, blackberries, and of course some hand-picked blueberries. And there you have it. And some people would call that a meal all by itself. My most sought-after means of escape is through skydiving. And I have found nothing in this world that compares to cheating death and getting away with it. After all, once you're outside that door, you are on your own. Your chute isn't going to open by itself, nobody's going to help you, and nobody's going to come and pull the cord to get your parachute open for you. It's just you against your capabilities. And you fail at it, you're just another lawn dart. So reach out and touch technology to achieve your educational goals. Allow that technology to let you experience the physical classroom out of the physical classroom, no matter where you are located. And finally, use that technology to tell your story in hopes that you might inspire others to follow in your footsteps.